Okay, so welcome in everybody. So basically today I'm just going to be doing a run over of today's market. Okay, the trade that I took, I got stop break even today, and why I didn't take another trade. But I'm going to be going over a good example of a trade that you could have entered. Now, in recent times I've kind of changed my strategy up a little bit. I'm kind of more focused on the higher time frames. I've come away from the 500 tick chart because I just think scalping it's just a bit too tricky. Okay, it's too tricky to just get constantly correct. So I thought to go for something that it's a bit easier to pick out from other things. But yeah, so this is our TPO chart. Obviously, you guys, if you don't know what a TPO chart is, then just I don't know, search it up or something. I'm just gonna make my face come a bit smaller. In fact, I'm gonna move myself to the bottom right. There you are. So basically I've made some composites. This was for yesterday's trade. We've got yesterday's value area, composite down. This isn't a composite actually, but this is pretty much the lone thing because obviously we're on MNQH. We're in a different quarter of the year, and this is kind of like the low, so it's a pretty key zone. I've just move it back. Okay, so this is what we were looking at. The trade that I took today was a long, right at market open. As you can see, if we, I took a long. Basically, you can see this is a point of control. It's a naked point of control. It's a high time frame confluence. I don't really trade anything based off the day because the day is developing. You know, at one point up here, this was a value area high. It's now no longer a value area high, right? So you can't really trade something that's developing throughout the day. Simple really, but basically what you can see is coming in, we're getting super aggressive delta. You know, it's a lot significantly lower, so we're basically seeing absorption, right? Let me just scroll back. So yeah, this is our 9:30 candle. You can literally see all that absorption there, and then we got the delta flip right here. But before that delta flip, I'm going to have to scroll back. I don't know if it's going to allow me to go that far. Yes, it is. So I actually entered here, and where did I get stopped at? I got stop break even. I don't remember exactly where, but I entered here because of the delta flip that we did get. Literally, I mean, that is a lot of buying in a 1 minute candle, I will be honest with you. So I entered here, but also another area to enter is basically this box that I marked here. As you can see, there's buying. It's kind of where we saw the first real sprint of buying. So really, the reason why I don't think it was a great trade is because normally I'd wait for a pullback and then a confirmation by this delta, so I would have entered after this candle. But by the time we would have got up here, I was too close to my target, which was, my target was, where is it? It was a value area high. Was it this one? No, because it didn't get hit. Where is it? Maybe it was that. Let's just make a line there. Right. I must have got tap break even. So our drawing liquidity did get hit before we saw a reversal, and on the reversal there was a really nice trade, but I didn't take it because it wasn't a perfect trade. If I'm honest with you, it was a nice one, but it's nothing perfect, and that's again why OrderFlow is so important, because I'm looking for high time frame places where we are getting this absorption happening. For example, in the previous day, you're looking at these as key levels because they've already happened, right? They're high time frame. So again, I'm looking at high time frame, and to me, it just wasn't high time frame enough to take another trade off of it, especially after getting break even. And to me, I don't think there was really enough absorption here. I don't think we got enough aggressive buying to accommodate for this being a good trade. Do you know what I mean? However, I will say that after we came into these highs, you can see that there is lots of aggressive buying, but on the delta, on the CVD chart, and looking at our TPOs, it wasn't really near a key level, like a good enough key level for me. Like a draw in liquidity isn't really the same as a high time frame key level, obviously, but it was nonetheless it was a great trade, pretty textbook. You can see that we're getting absorption up here. See, my problem with this trade is, so we never really get a huge spike in delta. It's kind of there, and then we're kind of just stabbing the top. And to me, by the time you've got this kind of delta flip, so that closes at 50. Yeah, it closes at 55. So if we go to 55, look, as you can see, I was literally looking at it. The reason why it was a good trade is because this is our first leg of aggressive selling. We tap back into it, we see absorption nicely, and we get a pullback from it. The thing is this is 9:54, and for me, I like to see that first 5-minute close. So after that, I was kind of looking to see if we got a pullback to this area, but by the time we got down here, I knew the flush just wasn't going to happen. But nonetheless, it still was a great trade, and I was definitely looking at it, and I did think that it was a great trade. But I'm becoming a lot more process driven rather than results. So the fact that I saw it and didn't take it, I'd actually way rather that than I kind of jumped into something prematurely. But obviously, it wasn't a perfect trade, and just because it won doesn't mean it's a perfect trade. The really important things that you're looking for is, you want to be seeing the same things. And for me, this was a much better trade, okay? So just to go over that again, coming down into the point of control, you can literally see it happens all the time. But for me, I was a bit skeptical about it because it wasn't just such a high time frame composite, and that's kind of the levels that I like to be looking for. So after that, we're pushed really deep in with delta. We see a delta flip, but the reason as well why it wasn't the kind of best trade is because you kind of want to be looking at that trade after 9:35. Where is it? Yeah, after 9:35, this right here, you could have traded the tap in if you wanted to, but this right here would have been the perfect entry. And for me, 8:50, so 8:50 to around about, whereabouts was it, that 9:42, I remember it. Yeah, it's only 92 ticks, and my stop loss would have had to been where the point of control was, and so the RR would have just been a bit awful. So to be honest, I did kind of jump in there a little bit prematurely, but not really, because I guess that you could make the argument that the 5-minute hadn't closed. So who are we to know that after this 9:30 is closed, we're not just gonna flip. You have to see that delta come in, and for me the targets were just a bit too far away. But now, as you can see, delta's trending pretty high. If we're near any key levels, this is clear absorption, and there's probably a passive seller kind of blocking this. But the thing is price is still trending up. We basically just got loads of aggression through this bit, and then the fact that we didn't kind of collapse through it kind of says that we're kind of just rotating through the day and there's no real action happening here. But that was kind of my thesis of the day. This is kind of like my journal, to be honest, and if you watch, I hope you got a bit of value. But yeah, be sure to leave a comment if you didn't understand anything, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. But see you guys later.